So as you know, as per the conversation that we was having earlier, like I told you, I've always been fascinated, with the brain and the way it works. So I think everybody having, just an elementary understanding of the brain, especially with these like brain hacks I'm gonna give, can help us all begin to make significant changes in our life. We got to look at the body, we got to look at the brain as like the motor to the body. So I like to tell people, and this is an interesting fact, tell me what you think. There are 100 billion stars in the galaxy, and there are 100 billion neurons in your brain. The question is, are you in the world, or is the world in you? And I like to say that because nothing can happen to you until two neurons connect in your brain. You know what I mean? So you got to think it all can be going down in the brain. So that's what made me really infatuated with the brain. So for me personally, I got 3 hacks. What I like to share, and I like to teach my audience. And I feel like if you can grasp these 3 things, you can begin to take back control and begin to use the brain, because a lot of us are walking around on autopilot. So the first thing is the brain is inclined to worry. The brain is inclined to worry. What does that mean? Well, the brain's main job is to keep you alive. That's what the brain's main job is. So the brain is looking for threats. It's constantly looking for threats. So how does that affect us in the world we live in? It's like everything is always negative. People are negative. The news is negative. Why is the news negative? Because negativity equals a threat. That's how they get your attention. Once they get your attention, that's where your energy goes. So we got to be very careful. So the way that they can control us, the powers that be, is to keep us fearful, keep us afraid, and keep us fighting, because that's what our brain gonna respond to so much. So just having the information that the brain's main job is to keep you alive. And that's cool at a time when our survival was a threat. But our survival is not a threat now. But we're still operating on the same program. So first we got to know this. We got to know the brain is inclined to worry. The brain is a problem-solving machine. So guess what? If you don't have any problems, the brain will actually create problems. So the good thing about that is if you got goals or something you're trying to accomplish or you're working on, and you focus on that, your brain can help you accomplish those things. But let's say, for example, you're in a relationship, right? You're in a relationship with a person. If you're not aware of the fact of how your brain works, you might begin to look at your partner and start to look at all their faults. Start to focus on their faults. Instead of thinking about the things that they can have 2 or 3 faults, because nobody's perfect. Like they say, if you get 80%, you did good, or whatever it is you're looking for. So everybody got faults. But if you don't understand this and you keep focusing on the faults, now you're going to create arguments and problems with your partner that don't really exist, because that's how the brain is. So knowing that can make you have a better relationship. So when you find yourself starting to go down the road of negativity and thinking about the faults, you can stop, take a deep breath, reset, and start to focus on the positive things. But this is something that you have to be aware of. So that can solve so many relationship issues alone. Just knowing that the brain is inclined to worry. The brain is looking for threats. So we can start to do things that actually relax our brain. That's one reason why going for a walk is good, or doing the meditation, doing things that reset your nervous system. And these are things that we can all do for free, but we got to have that awareness. So the brain is inclined to worry. Number 2, the brain cannot focus on negativity and positivity at the same time. The brain cannot focus on negativity and positivity at the same time. Why is that important? Well, the default mode, like we just explained, is negative. So if you're not thinking about what you're thinking about, then you're gonna get negative thoughts. So knowing that the brain can't focus on negativity and positivity, now you got a choice. You have to choose positivity. You have to choose it. And not only that, you have to choose those positive thoughts over and over and over, because like I said again, the brain doesn't respond to positivity like it does negativity, because it's not a threat. The brain job is to make you survive. But none of us want to just survive. We want to thrive. We want to live. We want to go to that next level. So having that simple awareness, and that's why I tell you, mess with your boy HK, because I'm going to give you the game how it go. And I ain't going to sugarcoat it for you. Now, what you do with the information, totally up to you. My job was to give it to you. So I gave it to you. So you got to think about it like this: the reticular activating system, right? You ever got a new car? And when you get that new car, you begin to see more of those new cars on the road. Is it because you got a new car and now everybody got a new car? No. What happened was, now that you got that new car, you told your brain, this is important to me. So your brain said, okay, I'm going to show you more of what's important to you. I'm going to show you more of those cars. In the same sense, if you look for positivity, if you focus on gratitude, if you focus on the things that you want, then your brain will show you more of the things you want. It's really not rocket science. They make it seem like it's rocket science, but it's really elementary. You get what you focus on. So if you like what you get, and keep doing what you've been doing, and you can get some more of it. If you like it, I love it. But if you don't, you can make a change. But you got to know, because guess what? You can't change nothing that you're not aware of. So my job is just to bring the awareness. Bring the awareness to you. You do what you want with it. Maybe it works for you, maybe it don't. But like they say, you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink. And of course, I'm not calling you a horse. But what I'm saying is, sometimes we humans can be more stubborn than a horse, okay? And get stuck in our ways. But there you go. Don't say I didn't tell you. And the third thing is this. The brain does not know the difference between imagination and reality. What does that mean? The brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. What I'm saying is, what they did was they took some Olympic athletes. They took some Olympic athletes and they hooked them up to these all kind of brain machines and things that I can't even pronounce and explain. But what they was able to do, and they had these Olympic athletes to actually mimic them doing their, playing their games or doing the things that they do. And guess what? The same parts of the brain fired off as when they actually do those things. So the knowing the brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality, what you do is you imagine the life that you want to live. You imagine that, you see that in your brain, so the brain can produce that. And if you want to take it further and bring it home, then it's like this. The same way you can imagine these negative things happening, you can go down these negative loops and everything, guess what? To show you those negative thoughts have real consequences on you, every thought produces a chemical in the body. That's a little bonus, because I'm going to give you 3 takeaways, but understand this. Every thought produces a chemical in the body. So you got to begin to ask yourself, do you want serotonin? Do you want dopamine? Do you want cortisol, which is a stress hormone? Now we know all of these present day diseases are linked to inflammation, and inflammation is linked to cortisol. Too much cortisol in the blood creates the inflammation, and the inflammation creates all these modern day diseases. So you can literally think your way right into an unhealthy situation. So if that's not enough awareness for you to say, hold on, let me think about what I'm thinking about. And when I catch myself going down that negative road, let me stop and say, you know what? HK told me, think positive, no matter what. Even in a dire situation, try to find something positive in that situation. And the more you do it, the more you think positive, the more you look for positivity, then guess what? The more your brain will be equipped to find that for you. So I ain't gonna hold you. I know y'all got to get out of here, but I'm just letting you know those are the 3 brain hacks that if you start with that, teach your kids, teach your family, tell everybody, hey, the brain is inclined to worry. So when you having these negative thoughts, it ain't even you. Don't even associate with these negative thoughts. Stop. Take a deep breath. Recenter, refocus, find something positive to think about, because the brain is inclined to worry, and it's going to happen over and over and over. And that's why we want to get into an attitude of gratitude, where we're constantly thinking about positive things and things that we want to see more of. Secondly, the brain cannot focus on negativity and positivity at the same time. But you got to choose the positivity, and the brain does not know the difference between imagination and reality. So guess what? Imagine everything going to work out for you. Imagine everything going to go right. You can do that, because you always imagine things going to mess up and ain't nothing going to work out for you. You do that all day. But why don't you just imagine it's going to work out? And when it do, come back, tell your boy HK how it worked out, and make sure that you pass it on to the next one. Each one teach one. And what we can do is start a ripple effect, because everybody say the world's so negative. Everything's so negative. So what you going to do about it? You going to wait on somebody else to change it, or are you going to begin to represent positivity no matter what's going on in your life? Not when everything is going good, not when you got all the things that you want. When everything is in total darkness, can you still find that light that exists within you? Okay, HK out, man. Y'all make sure y'all meet me here same time next week. Drop a comment below, like button, share with a friend, subscribe to the channel. Hey, let them know. Gangster Mentality, HK, Dirt Road from Rodeo. They might not understand what it is now, but they will in a minute because we on a mission. Let's get it. And I appreciate your time.